y'all doing?
Don't ask me what we're doing. We're waiting for the Republicans to put forward their effort again to try to delay health care reform. Why they don't want the American people to have health coverage, I have no idea. You know, sometimes I think that the Republican caucus must be like a football locker room where they get themselves all ginned up. There's no physical release of a game, and they don't know how to wind back down. And the bottom line is that winding back down means doing the adult thing to do, which is passing a clean CR. So I think we're destined for a shutdown at this point.
A shutdown is imminent.
Unfortunately, I just don't see a way out of it. If we are going to pass a bill that Harry Reid has already said is dead on arrival, then what is the purpose of what we're doing except for to give the right wing an exercise? You know, the bottom line is that Speaker Boehner has not taken control of his caucus, and he's allowed the 40 to 50 extremists to rule the day. And I think it's just a shame.
Congresswoman, talk to me a little bit about the mood right now on the Hill. I mean, are you guys are you talking to each other? Are Democrats and Republicans even engaging in the old-fashioned art of conversation right now?
Well, I mean, you know, we see each other on the floor when we vote, but the bottom line of this is that this is about a Republican conflict. This is internal to their caucus. If Speaker Boehner would walk over to Leader Pelosi right now and say, okay, let's just put our votes together, however many votes you can get, however many votes I can get, and put that clean CR on the table, we would be out of here in a few hours, because I know that there's enough Democratic votes. He needs to piece the votes together, but the bottom line is that he's allowed 40 or 50 people to hold him hostage, and they're holding the rest of the country hostage. It's really pathetic.
If there is a shutdown, how long do you expect it will last?
Well, I'm hoping that after these guys go through this exercise and maybe get it out of their system, that there will be some adults in the room that are able to say, okay, let's just get this done. You've had your effort, you've played long enough, now let's go back to the business of the country. And I'm hoping, frankly, that a shutdown doesn't happen, that cooler heads prevail. But let's just say it does. I'm hoping that it'll only last a couple of days and that the adults will speak up.
There are some who are already suggesting that if there is, or when there is, this imminent government shutdown, that politically your party will benefit. The Democrats will benefit come 2014. What say you to that?
Well, you know, who knows? I mean, 2014 is a long way away. I mean, to me, this is about our country. This is about jobs. This is about health care. You know, I mean, we're the most industrialized nation on the planet, and we have figured out how to provide health care for our people. So why my Republican colleagues do not want people to have health care is just beside me. I just don't understand it.
So when you leave this interview, you'll go back and do what? Where do you go from here?
When I leave the interview, I'm going back to my office. I'm working. I have plenty to do, and I'll be waiting until they call the vote. So we're all here. We're either on the Capitol or right nearby, and we're just waiting to know when they will call the vote. Now, it could be that they don't even have the 217 votes for their own bill. Who knows? We've been through that several times before, where we sit around, they say they're going to call a vote, and then ultimately they wind up adjourning because they can't even pull it together. But make no mistake, this is about the Republican versus Republicans. This is not about Republicans versus Democrats.
And I'll tell you what else has gotten lost in all of this is, you know, even the bills that are being considered right now, you know, the Senate bill would fund the government through mid-November, I believe. The House bill would fund it through mid-December. No one's actually talking about a budget bill that would fund the government for the next year. There's a novel concept.
It is a novel concept. We haven't even passed all the appropriations bills. So, you know, I mean, it's just about how do we kick the can down the road. So that's why we're doing the continuing resolution. Now, let me tell you, for the 3 years I've been here, the Speaker and the Republicans kept telling the Senate to pass a budget. Well, the Senate passed that budget. The House passed a budget. Now, the next step is a conference committee. But Speaker Boehner can't even get his caucus to allow him to pull a conference committee together. And if you even think about it, if you remember the day after the election in November, Speaker Boehner said, the public has spoken. Health care is the law. The Supreme Court has already ruled. And he had to pull that back after about 30 minutes. He says something, his caucus yanks him back, and he has to go back on it. So, you know, we really should be able to pass a budget. We should be able to call a conference committee, but he's not allowed to lead.
California Democratic Congresswoman Karen Bass on a Saturday afternoon. Good to see. Actually, you know what? It's not good to see you on a Saturday afternoon. I take that back. Thank you, Congresswoman.
I
I appreciate your time, though.